Greetings, One You Know B. How are you? Happy Bank Holiday Monday. Hope you've had a lovely Bank Holiday weekend. Thanks for your lovely comments on the videos. I'm glad it's helping some of you. I love doing that because I know what it feels like. You just want people to push through those early hard days. Now, ideally, I know a lot of the mindset people think you shouldn't have to push through, and you shouldn't, and I know that now. But in the beginning, you don't know that, so it just feels like one almighty slog. So this is just a quick reminder that don't be shocked when you get hard days or what you perceive to be hard days, because that's all you're doing is the thought that you put around it is making it feel hard. But we don't know any different really because we're so used to drinking alcohol. Now, some of you will no doubt have folded over the weekend and gone back to day one, and that is not a judgment. So don't judge yourself, just move on. It's in the past. And I know people say that really glibly, oh, it's in the past, draw a line under it, move on. And it doesn't, it just sort of goes, but really, you can either choose to take all that thinking and give yourself a hard time about it, which is going to ruin your future path, or you can just accept that, you know, it's done, right, let's crack on, let's do another day, you know. And that bit is always a choice. Well, it's all a choice whether you drink or not. And some of you will have held on for dear life using willpower and you've got through and you'll feel ace, and others will have just got through because you were genuinely making a choice that you didn't want to drink. And that's when you really start to feel, oh my goodness. And you can only do that with time. You know, you can only get to that place where you have genuinely made the choice. If somebody said, do you want to drink? And you actually gone, do you know what? I don't, thank you. That is when you're winning. And you can get there. You absolutely can. Now, that's not putting the other two down because I've been through all of them. I really have. But don't get me wrong, yesterday, you know, I had a FaceTime with the family, and even after 3 and a bit years, I was having a FaceTime. I had a fake G&T, and I don't usually drink AF drinks, to be honest. I don't. It's not through, you know, it's through choice. I'm just not that bothered. And I just thought, oh, do you know what? Sometimes I just wish I was drinking. Literally, it came into my head yesterday after 3 and a bit years. And I sat there going, do you know what? But I know what I do. I was just with my 2 older boys who live not at home, and my daughter and Simon and me were sat on this sofa, and my son's girlfriend. There were 6 of us all having a laugh about an hour and a half. And I know what I'd have done if I'd have been drinking. I'd have drunk then, and then I'd have thought, right, who else can I FaceTime? I'd have been wanting to face the world and his wife just so I could have a drink, and it had turned horrible. But yeah, so that moment, I did get a moment of, oh, it'd be nice to have a drink, but it just passes. It passes so quickly. Whereas going back to my first few weeks, oh, it didn't pass at all. It just stayed in my head. Oh, I want a drink. It'd be really nice to have a drink. Why can't I have a drink? No. And it's that you either choose to think, to get rid of that feeling. The only way you think you can do it is to have a drink, but it really isn't. Honestly, just crack on and give yourself, I call it giving yourself the gift of time. And when I used to say, because I knew I wouldn't drink, because I'm a bloody stubborn little bugger when it comes to doing a challenge. Once I've decided something, I'll do it. So the 90 days I knew I wouldn't drink, and then when it's 90 to 365 I knew I wouldn't have a drink, just because I'd decided, and it's so much easier. But that's not to say it's not hard or doesn't feel or I perceive it to be hard, because in the early days it really was. I was doing my head in, and applies to more later on, that when I think, oh, I should have a drink, you know, I've done a few months now, what do I want more? Or in the early days when it was tough, I'd be going, oh my God, but what do I want? I thought, well, I don't know, because I've never experienced it. And do you know what my why was? It wasn't based on what I had at the moment. It was based on what I wanted. And I wanted to experience a big proportion of time alcohol-free. And do you know why I wanted that? Sorry, 2 rhetorical questions in this video. I wanted, because then I could make a bloody proper informed decision. Because how can I, if I've never given myself that gift of alcohol-free time? I was just making my decisions on assumptions that, oh, I want it now, it's crap, it's rubbish, I want a drink now, so, oh, and it was all an effort. But the more time I gifted myself, the more I could make a true decision. And I thought, do you know what? I want to crack this once and for all. I'm going to give myself 3 months. And that's how I made the decision. I'm going to give myself 3 months and not drink. And then I'm going to decide. And it was like a weight being lifted. So I know I'm not going to drink because I want to make a decision. And I'm not being fair to myself or to everybody around me if I make a decision after the first 2 weekends where I feel like I've been wading through treacle and missing out. So that's not a fair decision to make for case against being alcohol free. So I want to be a fair decision. So 3 months alcohol free. All I have to do is not drink. And it became easier and easier with a few really hard days in it. There's still hard days now after 3 and a bit years, let me tell you, but they're far and few between. So I wanted to get to that point so I could make an informed decision. So I got to day 90, and that's a whole other video because there's a story behind it. And I thought, right, I can decide now. Do you know what? Actually, I am starting to feel better. And I am really starting to feel chuff pink with myself. Look, there's my day 90 up. I don't know why I'm holding my hand up. So I made a decision to do the 365. But you've got to give yourself that gift of time. You've got to do it because otherwise your decisions are based on assumptions and lies, and untruths. You've got to give yourself that gift of time, alcohol free. So when you're there going, oh, it's Bank Holiday Monday, everybody be drinking now. What do you want more? Do you want to just carry on as you are or as you were, being pissed off with yourself that you keep drinking, you can't seem to stop? Or do you want to see what it's like? Just experience. And do you know what? I said to myself, if after the 3 months or the 90-day challenge, I prefer having the alcohol, then I'll start drinking again. But I didn't. And I would never know that unless I give myself that gift of time. And that was always my biggest why. It wasn't the fact all the shit I'd done before. It wasn't my family. It wasn't my health. It was my motivation for doing it was to experience for the first time in my adult life probably what it was like to not drink for 3 months, to not have it in your system, to not have beer fear, to not have the guilt. And that was my biggest why, my motivation. And then that has just continued to 3 and a bit years. So I'll leave you with that. I've decided I'm going to do these because I'm trying to structure my days more. And can I just say hello? Because a few more of my community have come into this 1 year no beer. So you know who you are. I'm delighted. So just see how it goes. You'll be sick of me. I'll be everywhere now. So yes, so lovely to see you in here. I love it when I see your names pop up. So, and you'll have heard all this before because you've heard me bang on about it. So yes, Monday, Wednesday and Friday I'm going to do, because I'm trying to structure my days where I have social media free days, and then those days I just work on stuff that doesn't involve social media, if that makes sense. So it's just my own little plan I'm doing in my head. So yes, have a great Bank Holiday Monday, and remember, give yourself that gift of time, because do you know what, it's absolutely priceless, and it's a gift that nobody else can ever give you apart from you giving it to yourself. So have a lovely day, and I'll come in because I love seeing your comments and seeing that you're sticking with it, and even if you haven't but you're getting back on it, just fair play to you all. All right, cheerio, bye.